was kilometers away from her village. She came up with the bold idea to surprise her parents with a last-minute weekend visit with a bunch of friends while she was in her second year. There was every indication that this weekend would be one for the record books in terms of unforgettable fun and mirth. When it came time to say goodbye and return to college, her mom generously offered to drive her to a friend's house so they could share a ride. However, her mother's behavior during their goodbyes was out of the ordinary. She was adamant on sitting in the back seat, and her farewells were exceptionally heartfelt and profound. As they faced an unexpected disaster about 2.5 hours into their drive, the persistent rain pummeled the windshield of their car. A head-on collision occurred due to a combination of factors, including a hill, a flooded road, and an unsuccessful swerve. The vehicle skidded into the oncoming lane. The only thing that sticks out in her memory about what happened is the sudden screeching that came from her carmates. Their frantic shouts roused her from her slumber in the back seat. But now her recollection is completely hazy. Pieces of the scene from after the collision start to fall into place. She opened her eyes to see a woman beside her, desperately trying to soothe her anxious nerves. She was paralyzed with fear. After that, she seemed to have detached herself, watching the ambulance scene play out before her eyes like a movie scene. She became extraordinarily curious about what would happen to everyone involved as she hovered above the scene, taking in every detail. In the ambulance, she examines her partner, the driver, and has an out-of-body experience of herself on a stretcher. Paramedics securing the rear, indicating a change in strategy. She feels a strange disconnection from her body as she floats. She seemed to be floating at the top of the ambulance. Everything is very clear in her head. The nurse's expressions, the conversations between the two men up front. Found later with a damaged back and leg. Rooney is in excruciating pain. As they weigh the injured person's needs against her own, the ambulance team discusses the safest way to drive. No worries, though. She's chill. An impartial observer, taking stock. After that, it returns to her body and hits her. The nurse inquires about her partner's identity while in the ambulance. L.E., not her, L.E.A. There's a spelling mistake. Frightened that they will never find her family, they enter panic mode. With a measured pace, she tells the nurse, "It's L.E.A., and they live in Takapuna." An authentic Kodak moment. The nurse's eyes enlarge. Another twist. A conversation with her parents. Mom had a strange dream just hours before the crash. The call at 1 in the morning. Bingo. Prior to everything going wrong, her gut had warned her that something was off. Feelings of motherhood, eerie content, foretelling impending precipitation. At a later point, she levitated outside her body once more, this time surveying the entire ambulance journey below. Far from the scene of the collision, they were making their way to a hospital. She had a severe concussion and excessive blood loss during the trip. A group of surgeons met at the hospital to discuss next steps. Her brain's veins and arteries continued to hemorrhage uncontrollably. It should be noted that this was not an upscale facility, but rather a typical local hospital. At that very moment, a powerful urge to be reunited with her body surged through her. The sensation of returning to her body and the relief it brought her was something she recalled clearly. It was only upon returning home that the gravity of her injuries became apparent. Both her long-term and short-term memory were affected by her brain injury. There was a significant difference between then and now in the treatment of brain injuries. Her 19-year-old treatment consisted of weekly checkups, memory tests using playing cards, and positive reinforcement when she got a question right. They would advise her to take it easy for a week and return then. In terms of her rehabilitation, that was about it. Even the most mundane details, like the whereabouts of her shoes, may occasionally escape her attention. Because of her memory loss, she returned to live with her parents and dropped out of college. Everything seemed bleak. The disaster had utterly destroyed her hopes and future. Few months down the road, though, she made up her mind that the accident would not define her. Instead of letting herself be victimized, she decided to take charge of her own healing. She changed her life in the span of 2 years. The results of her efforts were evident in her enhanced recall. A life-altering epiphany struck her during those challenging 2 years: the power of one's outlook and mentality. With focus and determination, the human mind can do great things. Initially, you might not realize how many options there are in life. She will be eternally grateful for the lessons she gained from that experience. She gained extensive knowledge on the neural circuits, memory, and social interactions of the human brain. Furthermore, the profound sense of ease and unwavering faith in a power greater than ourselves that she gained from her out-of-body experience served as a compass for her entire voyage. The things she gathered up as she recovered from her serious car accident, indeed, that laid the groundwork for her present business, and she is now sharing what she has learned with others. Although it was a watershed moment, it was far from the only one. Tragically, she lost her best friend to suicide, and then, all of a sudden, both of her parents passed suddenly within a span of 6 weeks. Not easy, is it? But she continues drawing on the insight she gained after that automobile accident. Even if it's hard material, she developed and discovered who she was as a result. She gained unwavering faith in herself and an in-depth comprehension of human nature as a result of those formative experiences. The wisdom she has gained on her journey is something she is eager to share. Fear weighs down a lot of people in different aspects of their lives. She sees this common thread every year through all the people she communicates with. She is here to shake things up. Life, in her view, is meant to be savored to the fullest, with an emphasis on learning from mistakes. Was it her job? Inspire others to take those teachings to heart, overcome their fears, and enjoy life to the utmost. The importance of sharing one's experiences and the lessons it may teach is something she really believes in. She is completely dedicated to uniting her community for the betterment of all. Is that her channel? She has lofty goals, including compiling accounts of near-death experiences from people around the world. They plan to implement a YouTube membership program to facilitate this. Their channel wouldn't be the same without the backing of their fans. Exclusive content, question and answer sessions, contests, and live events are just some of the perks that members enjoy. Above all else, their backing allows us to reach more people throughout the world with these incredible experiences. Everyone who has watched and supported us along this amazing trip has my deepest, most sincere gratitude. Building a robust and connected network of like-minded individuals is made possible by your support, whether it's through participation, comments, or just being a part of this community. This community is made more inviting and fulfilling by your efforts. Therefore, I want to express my deepest gratitude to everyone who is traveling this path with me. Love has us tumbling down, gazing up at the stars with awe. Our hearts are being swept away by love. We value the time you've taken to read this. Please subscribe and enable notifications if you have liked this story and would want to get similar ones. We're thrilled to have you along for the ride as we discover new places and reminisce about old ones. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all of your help and participation. We can't wait to continue